لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, I love Muhammad Mustafa than the whole wide world. Making partners with Allah is the greatest sin. I shall never ever worship anybody but Him. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah محمد رسول الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening. And we give thanks to Almighty Allah who has assisted us all through the week. And we say thank God it's Friday. May Almighty Allah continue to preserve our life and continue to grant us success in all that we lay our hands upon. Our esteemed viewers and listeners, you are most welcome again and again. It's Fundamentals of Islam, that's the name of the program. It's reaching you from NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. My name is Abdul Fattah Adeyemi, and I want you to please join us to welcome to your homes this hour. We have a Sheikh Al-Imam Musa Dawood. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ya Sheikh.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
Marhaba.
You are most welcome, Sheikh.
Shukran.
All right. The Sheikh is going to discuss with us the trending month that we are in. We are talking about the month where we extol the goodness and the mentorship and role model qualities of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we want to look at the lessons from his life vis-a-vis his life as the head of a family. And I'm sure this is going to be very interesting to all of us, knowing fully well that the Prophet Muhammad happened to be the role model for the believers, all Muslims all over the world. Before we go into the details of this discussion, we'd like to take some updates from One Ummah Unity, Peace and Unity Convention that is coming up. Let's stay tuned now and hear some updates from them. After that, we continue with the discussion. The three fundamentals of Islam. Please stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum.
One ummah, one ummah, one ummah, we're one family, and anybody can come join us. If you go to North America, you'll find it. If you go to Europe, you'll find it. If you go to South America, you'll find it. If you go to
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Hamza Umar Suru. I'm the director, Human Resource One Ummah. Let me just give a bit of context to the One Ummah organization so that we understand why it was formed and what it does. So the context is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in his glorious Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنحون على المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. This verse was very instrumental in coming together of various four organizations that formed the organization One Ummah. And that's what we are doing. And in 2018, when the organization was formed and made departmental, we created 6 departments. And I happened at that time to head the Human Resource Department. What we do in Human Resource basically is we map people according to their skills and understanding in various departments. The ESCOs that we are selected in each of the various departments and head of unit that we have a certain criteria that we use in order to man the entire structure, human resource structure of one ummah. That's on the one hand. Also, on the second hand, we also have a process that we use in engaging with the external community and the volunteers of the organization. The volunteers of the organization, what we normally do is we have an online form that we normally send to them requesting for basic information for them to submit, and then we also ask for their information that has to do with the CV so that we can check and place them according to various units and departments that we have. And this we have been doing for about 6 to 7 years now, inshallah, and it has been successful. Over the years, we had about an average of 200 volunteers per convention. If you roughly, we have managed about 1,608 volunteers over the 8 years that we have been having convention. And mashallah, the feedback that we have gotten from that has been excellent. Apart from the Abuja convention, we have opened an arm in Lagos, whereby we also use the same methodology to seek for volunteers participation, which we have done. This is the 3rd convention we are doing in Lagos, inshallah, and those also we have gotten a reasonable feedback and people are willing to participate. The most interesting thing about One Ummah's convention, the ESCOs, the entire structure of the organization and the volunteership is that people spend their time, resources, and energy. They are even willing to do more. They don't even care that we say thank you, but we actually say thank you. But we have added, because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man la yashkuru nasa la yashkuru Allah," or kama qala sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you are not thankful to people, you will not be thankful to God. But we normally say thank you for all your participation. And I want to also take this special moment to thank the entire volunteer that has been with us over this journey. You have done an amazing, amazing work. May Allah continue to bless you. May Allah continue to reward you. And may Allah unite us in Jannah. One thing that I want to add, in addition to what I've said, is that the commitment of the ESCOs to this entire organization is outstanding. MashaAllah. As I keep mentioning, every member of the ESCOs, all the unit head, nobody is being paid a penny. But we all commit our time, our energy, and our resources. Most meetings that we normally hold, we hold it after Isha prayers. Virtual meeting, sometimes we come physical meeting, sometimes we spend the entire Saturdays and Sundays, and sometimes we even go beyond that to travel to other locations outside our comfort zone without being paid anything, just to send the message across, just to make sure that the message of the Prophet, the peace message, the love message, the beautiful Islamic message is conveyed to people that need it. We also need it. We pass it to ourselves and also to the other people. Alhamdulillah, this is 10th year anniversary the organization is marking. Before the 10th year, we're able to expand the organization outside the shore of Nigeria, which we had a maiden edition of the convention in Ghana this year, and that convention has been amazing, and we had a very interesting, beautiful volunteers that have come in, spend their time, spend their energy and resources in order to make it happen. This is very amazing, and inshallah, this convention 2023 is going to be a mind-boggling convention because of the beautiful lineup we have and also the other program that will be coming, inshallah, within that. So we pray that, inshallah, as we normally do, you will come for the convention. You will all join us at the convention, and inshallah, it's going to be an amazing journey and amazing experience. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening.
One ummah, one ummah, one ummah, we're one family, and anybody can come join us.
Thank you very much for staying tuned and not going away. We are still on to Fundamentals of Islam, reaching you from NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. The topic of discussion is lessons from the life of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and looking at the life of the Prophet as the head of a family. Sheikh, you are in a very good position to tell us about this because You are an advocate of peaceful and progressive family unit, and they're seeing that when the family is in order, the whole society will be in order.
Sure.
So, learning from the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam now, what are some of these salient features of his life as head of the family that we need to learn from?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وسلم. I just wonder what could have happened to humanity if Allah Azza wa Jal had not sent Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as our model in all sectors. But because you have chosen the family, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a standout as against other prophets. Though we are commanded to believe in other prophets, all prophets of Allah, but then we discover that it's not all the prophets that are married. Like Prophet Isa, alayhi salam, Jesus Christ, peace of Allah be upon him. He didn't have the opportunity to get married. And when you are not married, your family is limited. You only have, he doesn't even have a father. You see how blessed, because Allah removed so many knuckles from his neck. But he has a mother that is committed to. But a mother and a child, the family is not complete. Now, when you look at Prophet Adam, alayhi salam, he had no previous experience of marriage. Allah just dashed him. He just woke up and see, because he's lonely. Allah dashed him a wife.
He didn't have any in-law.
No in-law, no challenge. He didn't go and dobale. He didn't take any sadaki except to do salawat nabi for his sadaki. Now, look at the challenge he faced when Shaitan started to deceive the woman and, by extension, her children. Look at the challenge he faced with the children, one killing the other. It's not a pleasant experience. Now, coming to Prophet Nuhu, alayhi salam, he had a wife and he had a son. But look at the challenge he faced. Look at the quality of the type of woman he married to. Look at the quality of the son he got. A disobedient child from a disobedient woman. Look at Prophet Ibrahim, alayhi salatu wassalam, who not only got married to one, but had more than one wife. Look at the challenge he faced when praying for a child. Look at the quality of the child that is obedient to the father. Look at the quality of the woman that is submissive to the husband. Now, all of this, the Prophet ﷺ, among other prophets of Allah, stood out. There are among the prophets that doesn't have a child on time. There are those that have only female daughters, only female children. There are those that have only male. Look at the father of Yusuf, alayhi salam, with 12 sons.
No female among them.
No female among them. Now, by the time it is the turn of Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all those experiences were relayed to him. All those knowledge were available to him, taught directly by Sayyidina Jibril alayhi salam through the revelation of Allah. So, meaning that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as a head of the family, already has information. Is learned. He has a previous experience to leverage upon, and he has the instruction of Allah as ultimate guide. Allah Azza wa Jal did not just appoint the prophet saying, Innaka lahala uluqul azim, saying, you Muhammad, Without doubt, you are the best in conduct.
Allahu
Your mettle is not challenged until you are married, whether as a male or as a female. How can you say you are a gentleman? How can you say you are a nice man?
When
How
you
can
are
you say
not
you are a patient man? How can you say you are a caring man when you don't have a wife at all? Who gave you certificate? Same goes to the woman. So for Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the hindsight of the purpose Allah designed him for, saying that he is a mercy to mankind.
Mercy for the whole of humanity.
For the whole of humanity. So the whole world need to learn from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam how to relate with not only one wife, how to relate with wives.
So we have in him the example. I felt so blessed with the knowledge and to be reminded that some prophets had only boys.
Only boys. Some have only girls.
So that should be Lut, who had
exactly
only girls.
Luke only has only girls. And Noah has a son that you can say is a kufar. A Naira Marley of today.
So it means that
idiots have not just started.
With all of the prophets of Allah, they had one lesson or the other for us to learn.
To learn from
and
them.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had encapsulated all of these lessons for us to learn from
To
him.
learn from him if you are looking for success.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's the precondition.
We will still talk more about the success part of it, inshallah. For our viewers, let's take a short break now. When we return, we still have more questions to ask our Sheikh in the house. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum.
At a time when religion is viewed as old-fashioned,
we seek to alter the lens through which the world views our Ummah and also help the Ummah adjust to a changing society.
The One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention intends to provide a platform for understanding and peace,
where people of different races, tribes, and backgrounds come together under the banner of Islam.
As ambassadors of our religion, we must spread a message of unity and prosperity,
whilst emulating great Muslim scientists from our past, such as Ibn Sina and Al-Khawarizmi.
We wish to create an atmosphere where people can discuss real-world problems
so that we can debunk the stereotypes and bring Islam to the 21st century.
Join us on the 25th and the 26th of November at the International Conference Center,
where we'll be changing the narrative of mental health,
as well as enlightening the Ummah on the current and past issues in and outside the Muslim community.
This convention will provide a safe space to speak on matters that were once considered a taboo.
We will be having scholars from across the world
to show and remind us of what it means to be a Muslim.
That Islam is not a barrier between faith and modern civilization,
but a bridge between them. Join us and be part of changing the narrative.
If you go to North America, you'll find it. If you go to Europe, you'll find it. If you go to South America, you'll find it. If you go to Asia, you'll find it.
Thank you very much for not going away. We are still on to Fundamentals of Islam, reaching you from NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. We have been talking with Sheikh Imam Musa Dawood concerning the lessons from the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and we are looking at him as the head of the family. What do we learn from him? So let's continue with this discussion now. As husbands, specifically, what are the things we should learn from the Prophet so we can be successful?
As husband,
yes,
the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam make a categorical statement when he said, which could be translated as the best among you people of humankind is the one that is nicest to his wives. And he said, I am the best in that regard. So meaning that it is not mature when you can slap. It is not, that doesn't make you a man. And for you to qualify as the best, it means you must be caring, you must be loving. You look at the wives of the Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His first wife was many years his senior, Nana Khadija, radiyallahu ta'ala anha. She was so beloved that after the death of Nana Khadija, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam come across her mates, her friends, he stand up to respect them. To the extent that even Nana Aisha, who was around, who was young and beautiful, felt jealous that this woman is no more around now, and you are still respecting her. And he said to her, when nobody believed me, Nana Khadija believed me. When nobody supported me, Nana Khadija supports me. When everything seems to be crashing, this woman was a pillar. That is the type of relationship that was built between them. And look at it, for someone to marry the one that is older than him, and he doesn't feel threatened. So a husband material should not be intimidated by the success of his wife. A husband material.
It should be about 200 yards.
It have to be thousands of yards.
200 yards.
A husband material should see to the success of his wife's business or enterprise.
Not to be jealous or envious of her.
Once you are envious, once you are jealous, you have lost everything. Because the Prophet ﷺ asked us to be careful of a razor. He said, this razor is not the one you are using to cut. When you are envious, when you hate one another, when you are envious of one another, when you are jealous of one another, you are toying with razor. And it will damage the person that holds it. So the Prophet was comfortable with a wife that is successful, that is also older than her. Look at Nana Aisha.
So a good husband should be supportive.
You should be supportive of the wife in her aspiration, in her enterprise. Look at Nana Khadija, the youngest of the wife of the messenger. Also, the Prophet ﷺ was years ahead of her.
That was Aisha.
Nana Aisha. Radiyallahu ta'ala anha. The Prophet was so caring that he sometimes he allowed the Nana Aisha they run race together, and he allowed Nana Aisha to win. Sometimes he won, and you look at her and say, "This is for the other one. That time you won. This time I win."
You have added weight now.
Yeah, because you have. Nana Aisha was even saying this smiling, saying that time when she has gained weight, she couldn't race ahead of the Prophet. Did she think she can race ahead of the Prophet? But the Prophet allowed her to win. So that is
that's how a relationship should be.
Look at the Prophet again with Nana Aisha. When you have a younger person, the Prophet will submit his head for Nana Aisha to rub it with perfume. I don't know which. If you say you are romantic, you are coming behind the Prophet. So you make the home, a habitable place for the woman to blossom. If the woman is not blossoming, if the woman is not progressing, you are not growing a home. You only have a house to live in. See the children? Look at the way the Prophet trained Nana Fatima, to the extent that he delivered her to her husband's house with knowledge, adequate knowledge as in education, adequate knowledge as in training, how to relate with husband, how to relate in her husband's house, how to serve her husband. You see the grandchildren, how the Prophet even in Mumbai will go down to carry one of the grandchildren and still continue with the khutbah. You see, when the Prophet was in the sujud, in the mosque, and is it Hassan or Hussein that was climbing on his neck, and he allowed him to have his time until the lad came down and the prophet raised up his hand. And they were asking him, is it that the ruku have been prolonged? He said, no, the ruku was not prolonged, but my grandchild was on me, and I don't want to disturb his play. Ya Salah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is a home. This is somebody told the Prophet sallam. So he said, when he saw the Prophet sallam kissing the cheek of one of his grandsons, the man said, Ya Rasulullah, I have never kissed any of my children, not to talk of grandchildren. The Prophet sallam says, he is not of us. He who is not respectful of the elders and is not kind to the children.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. I see we should go on and on. And I believe with this little time you've explained this, it's going to transform a lot of homes. And I do hope the husbands, Mr. Husbands, have heard what you have said. It is not enough to just behave like a lion in the house and everybody is scared of you when you are approaching. It is better to learn from the example of the Prophet that made the house to be a home. Yeah. And I pray the wives too will cooperate with their husbands when they are doing this, not to take things for granted.
They have the example of Khadija and Aisha to leverage.
Thank you very much. So on that note, we wrap it up for tonight. We do hope you join us again, same station, same time, so that we can learn a lot more about the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This has been Fundamentals of Islam on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Let's do this again next week and do have a beautiful weekend ahead. Assalamu alaikum. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, I love Muhammad Mustafa than the whole wide world. Making partners with Allah is the greatest sin. I shall never ever worship anybody but Him. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur